What you're about to listen to is pulled from a marketing mastermind call that we did several months ago inside of Hybrid Hub. The goal last January was to work through the marketing system inside the program live together so we could see how well these systems worked for specific members and how to fix the areas where they fell off. These snippets are hopefully valuable, but they don't show how amazing and funny and smart and supportive all the members of Hybrid Hub are. So if you're listening to this episode and you're like, oh my God, this is so amazing, this is a room I need to be in live, then book a free one-on-one call below so we can chat about if Hybrid Hub is the right fit to scale your photo video business this year. On to the episode. So last week we talked through your sales goals and how we're tying that to your main offer that you want to be pushing with your marketing efforts. Then we talked about the importance of being searchable, where like no matter what platform you're on, no matter if we're talking about long form content or short form content, my goal for all of you is if someone's typing in what you do and where you do it, that you are showing up, period. Like that's always the goal. And so we dove into that a little bit further on Friday. Brianna, you can catch up with that. I feel like it was kind of a golden live lesson. So definitely catch up there. And we talked about batching our captions on a monthly level. And we all know my reasoning for that is just like making all of this digestible and focused on that sales goal so we're not getting distracted by shiny objects every week. If there's a trend you really want to try, I'd love for that to be an extra piece of content. If it's like, this has to be done today. Because a system is just a checklist that you're able to follow regularly. So if I got to thinking about this weekend because I was like, I feel like some of the pushback on batching captions monthly is your creatives. Like you want to allow for some flexibility and creativity when you're doing your weekly content. Awesome, Abby, good to see you. And so to me, if we're very focused on serving and being searchable with our batching that we're doing every month, and then allowing some wiggle room for creativity like layered in there, that's just the best of all the worlds. And so we're being very focused on our business and then very focused on our personality later on when we're batching creative. Before I go into our lesson on creative today, I want to show you what I've been working on, how I'm organizing all this for myself. And then I want to take any questions from last week and then we'll push forward. Deal? Awesome. Okay, share screen. So when we're talking about batching captions on the monthly level, I had to think about how do I want to batch for the rest of January to just show everybody what I mean by this. Because my goal is to batch creative on the weekly level. So my brainchild here is I use Asana, which is basically just a shareable to-do list. And I like to break it up into different sections or projects. What you can do inside of a project is you have different sections. So in my social media example section here, I have talking heads and I have aesthetic videos and I have trending videos. And so before we even talk about those categories, when I was batching my captions, what I did is I made each post its own task. And then over here in the description of the task, I just pasted the caption. It's pretty much always the same call to action. This isn't really a hook. It's just like an SEO title. I'll do better next month. Doing this quickly for an example. But then last week, Emily had fear in her eyes and fear in her heart about deciding what the creative's going to be to go along with the caption. And my answer to that was super smart assy. And I was like, well, you could literally make these captions one of each type of creative. And I was like, you know what, Shay? Don't suggest things that you're not willing to do. So for the next week or two, my goal is all of my captions will be posted as a talking head, as an aesthetic video, and as a trending video. We're getting kind of fast and loose with the definition of trending video just because this is a very ambitious project I'm taking on. But I just, for the precursor of today's lesson where we're going to dive into creative,
I just want to show that we can batch these captions and then on the weekly level, batch our creative and not worry too much about if it's going to be one of these three categories. Fair enough? Okay. Now I want to take your questions and then I'm going to dive into the slides. Nothing? Okay, great. That means I'm brilliant and you all understand. Okay. Diving into short form creative. We did all the boring nerdy shit last week, and now we're gonna do the fun, sexy stuff of batching creative. Who is talking to me? Okay, it's Jenica. We have to convince her to join. Present. Okay, how to batch creative. Woo! Happy Monday, everybody. Once we get into the system, which is the next lesson, and I'm so excited about that. It's my favorite part of the whole program. I even made like an entire program last year, just doing this system. And I love video, but like the how of like getting clients lies in the system. So when you're implementing, it is my goal for you that once a month you're sitting down and writing all of the captions for the month. That is understood. And then on the weekly level, I would love for you to batch the creative. And don't get in the weeds of what the creative means. It's just literally the media that goes along with the captions that you batched. I don't want you hunting for ideas of what this should be. Like the caption should give you an idea of at least what the subject of the creative should be. And then everything in here is like just some structure to help you batch quickly, but do it effectively and be happy with what you're posting. I know some of you get in the weeds of like, oh no, my grid doesn't look pretty anymore. Like no one's gonna hire me. Like that's 2016 bullshit that you're preaching when you're worried about how your grid looks. The reason being is that nobody is a follower anymore. Everybody is a consumer of individual pieces of content. And it's true that they will scroll over to your page and treat some of it like a gallery portfolio. But in the age of AI, it is more important now more than ever to just speak to what your client needs and how you can help them and do it with your personality and your voice and try to let go of perfectionism and aesthetics. That's all I can ask of you. And it's up to you to decide if you're going to take that advice or not. I'm not like actually your mom. Like I know we call me mommy a lot, but you have to help yourself at some point. So we're just matching visuals to captions we've already written, and it's very simple. Like it might not be easy at first, but it's at least simple. When it comes to using our hooks, we can just reuse the hooks that we put in the first lines of those captions we batched and put it as text on the video that you're creating. Easy enough. I love when you guys nod at me. I like these lessons are fun. Like I don't hate live teaching. It's just very much me talking at you and hoping that I'm not frozen and you're not bored. So a great hook is what stops the scroll and gets people to read, listen, and inquire. So first I want to talk about aesthetic videos. And the reason I start here is this is historically the easiest to get photographers to jump on board with. When I say aesthetic, it's just like pretty to look at. And this is typically your final product. So a lot of photographers like to do just like really good slideshows of their work. I think those can be effective, but they're more effective if you start the video with like an iPhone behind the scenes, wait for the beat drop, and then go with your final work. But that's just because like sometimes just your final work can look like ads to some people. And then does everyone understand how to pick trending audio? Yeah, okay. I know I don't like going places you already know. Um, oh, this is a good point too. As you're practicing with hybrid shooting, I made you specifically in phase two, lesson three, export 3 to 5 clips from your session as vertical clips. Literally just one of those clips with trending music with your hook on top, that's an aesthetic video. Congratulations, you did it. Like, this is not rocket science. So the visuals show your style, but the hook hopefully will drive people to the caption. Any questions on this category? Comments, concerns? Okay, beautiful. Next is what I'm such a hoe for, which is talking head and green screen videos. These can be super simple, as simple or as complicated as you want them to be. Right now with Hybrid Hub, Hybrid Hangout, I'm favoring just my face. With my photo video business, I like to be green screened over my work. It's just that combination of final product mixed with the personality and person that's giving them the service. This is sometimes a sticking point because people literally don't know how to green screen. Does anyone not know how to use the green screen feature? You're all good? You're all good on the green screen? Okay, beautiful. You can talk through what your caption says, but it doesn't need to be in a scripted way, especially with these photo video ones that I just batched. The caption is like pretty fancy and specific, and then my dumbass gets super distracted just because I see the photos behind me as I'm talking. I'm like, oh my God, isn't this cute? Don't you love this detail? Don't you love how they did the florals? And I think that's great. I think it's totally fine if they don't completely match because it just shows how I actually talk and interact with my work. Um, these videos build authority because people help hear you teach them in real time. Sometimes when I say the word teach, you guys are like, yeah, I'm not an educator, I'm not a douchebag. I don't think you're like actually teaching them or influencing your clients. I think what's happening is like they're starting to trust you because they see the face and they hear the voice combined with the final product, and it helps it seem way more human and way more achievable. The algorithm will recognize you as an expert when you show up on camera. All I mean by this is every algorithm is just incentivized, no matter what the platform, to feed videos to the people who will be interested in them. So if you are talking in your videos and it's related to what's in your caption and it's speaking about the experience you can provide in the location you can provide it, the type of wedding you want to book, it's generating a script so the algorithm knows what this video is about and will literally feed it to people who would most want to see it for free. Like this is such an obvious win, and we would be silly to not do it. Finally, trending formats. This is the most annoying and time consuming, period, but it's the easiest strategically. This, when I say trending, I mean memes. I love a meme. I know it's like kind of 2020, 2021, but where I thrived with trending formats was like the CapCut green screen templates where it was like memes talking with like a transparent background and I could put my work behind it. That was the easiest for me to keep up with. But it's also like when people are lip syncing to audios, that's an example of a trending format. You can make these your own and do it so creatively and in your voice and your sense of humor that the right clients are going to respond well to it. But with that said, the caption and hook strategy stays the same. Like we're not adding a dumb one-liner under a trending video just because we're like, oh, it's a trend. It's like more meant for to be funny or to be viral. Like, no, we're still trying to attract our right clients. And if a client connects to us on a sense of humor level, that's the type of client we want. So make the caption still valuable. Trends are made to expand reach, right? And so I'm always saying, like, who cares if your video gets 2 to 7 views if it turns into an inquiry? These are formats that are more likely to like help you with those larger views, which can be valuable in its own right. Any questions on trending formats? Okay, gorgeous. So think about the job of each video type and don't turn your nose at any of them. My thing is we all need to become practitioners and not philosophers. So I get a ton of photographers sometimes who are like, yeah, but I heard that doesn't work anymore, or I believe that my clients wouldn't like this video type. And I'm like, I don't give a shit what you believe. Like just practice for a month or two with all of them. And you're going to notice you're way better at some hit better. You're going to be surprised by some of the types of videos that do better and lead to more inquiries. And others, you're going to be, you might confirm your beliefs. Where like, to me, I believe I'm not as into trending formats, right? So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy that I never create trending videos. Whereas, like, if I were a practitioner and just practice all of them, then I can look at the data instead of my feelings. Aesthetic videos show your visual style. It's so important to show your final product, and you probably like to do it because it keeps your grid pretty. Trending formats expand that reach. Talking head builds authority and makes people trust you. None of this works without that strong, clear hook that drives viewers to the caption. And if we think about our batching system, how we're going to make this work into our real lives and businesses, just batch those captions on a monthly level. And then some of our goals are so achievable. Like a bunch of you said you want to post 3 times a week. So if on Sunday or Monday you're sitting down to create 3 videos, just create one of each type. Like that's so doable. And you can kind of match them to your captions, and then bam, you're producing consistent weekly content without burning out. So on the monthly level, choose your topics, define the offer you're selling and the client that you're talking to, batch your hooks and captions. Weekly, batch your videos. Like no new, like, oh, now I'm targeting this person. Like make sure you batch your weekly videos first. Then for each caption, choose between an aesthetic, a talking head or green screen, or a trending video. Put your hook at the start of every video, no matter what. And then I prefer if you post manually and you engage when you post. If you use a scheduler, I don't hate you. I don't really care. Captions first, video second, consistency always. So here's where we can chat through where your current pain points are or where you feel like you align with this or fall off of this system, and make it work for your business. But when you write topics that are too broad and not tied to anything people search for, that's a problem with the caption strategy. And I don't want you to think of topics as being super creative, like especially in this practicing phase, like let's just kind of be literal, because literal is SEO friendly. I also see a mistake of people being too cute or catchy instead of thinking about what people are actually searching for. I don't love like an aesthetic, fluffy, clever caption. I love a really literal, searchable caption. And your call to action can pretty much be the same every time. Don't overthink that. Basically, all I want for you guys is consistency and to come up and search. And I know you all are artists, and what you want for you is to like love the content you're posting. I would love to meet in the middle and all be friends.
And that is it for today, friend. Be sure to leave a review and screenshot that review and send it to me at Hybrid Hangout. I'd also love to see the episodes you're loving in your stories so I can share and say hey and thanks for listening. Basically, I just want to be friends. I will see you soon.
Beautiful, gorgeous, perfect raccoon with a camera. Let's hang out.